Now I can talk about it. Hey guys, I know it's been a long time since I've filmed a video. Today I really wanted to talk about Tough Mudder. So basically what I'm going to get into is how I felt about this race, what I think I improved on, you know, the obstacles. We're going to talk about some bumps and bruises I got, and the main event, we're going to talk about me getting electrocuted. So the first thing I wanted to hit on was there's no medal. This is the reward for finishing the Tough Mudder. About the race, so the race was about 10 miles long. I think it was more like 9.5, give or take a few miles, but they just, on the website, they advertise it as 10, so I'm going to call it 10. It was Veterans Day yesterday, and I think that made it extra special. There were a couple people carrying flags. There were active duty service members or veterans there. It was all overall like a super fun experience to be a part of that and to run with those people. It felt like such an honor to be there that I didn't deserve, and I'm so grateful that I got to do this run that day. About 20 obstacles, maybe a little more, 25 obstacles. Lots of mud. The mud was my favorite part of this. It was like we would get into this pit of absolute just liquid mud, and the way I can describe it, I feel best is to describe it, is like, think about maybe, this is gonna be a stupid analogy, think about filling like a pool up with syrup and then walking in it. There were points in the mud where I would be like, I would have my like knee up and my leg down on the bottom, like ready to like walk like a normal person. But if you didn't like force your legs down, you just wouldn't go anywhere. And you'd be like frozen like a statue in the mud. That was funny. The obstacles were awesome. My favorite obstacles were the mud. The mud mile was fun. Balls to the wall was fun. Oh my god. The reach around was one of my favorites. So was Pyramid Scheme. Pyramid Scheme was awesome. And I'm going to get into a few of the obstacles and what they were. A couple of the obstacles, just to run down on some of them. The reach around was essentially like a ladder like this. It was tilted like that, and you had to climb up like this. And then it was like the frame holding it and then the platform. So I got to about the second rung up, and I couldn't pull myself up because I was so small. And these guys helped me out. They grabbed my arm, and then I swung my leg up. They held my leg when I swung my other leg up, and they essentially like rolled me onto the thing, which was so nice of them to do that because I was struggling. Arctic Enema was another one. I know the name sounds gross, but Arctic Enema felt really good yesterday. It was beautiful weather, by the way, yesterday. So it was about 72 degrees, so Arctic Enema hurt, but it didn't hurt so bad that I froze the whole race. The mud mile was extra muddy, and you know, they don't call it a Tough Mudder for nothing. So I'm gonna be picking, like, okay, I'm gonna be pulling mud out of places I didn't know existed. That's how muddy this thing was. Yeah, the obstacles were super fun to go on. I kind of wish they had King of Swingers there, which is like you basically like Tarzan swing and hit a bell and then fall into water. It looks like fun, and I wish that was there, but no matter. The obstacles were awesome either way. Another unique thing about the Tough Mudder was that it was a lot of running. It was a lot of running with like emptiness. However, when you were running through the trails, there were puddles of like mud and water that you had to go through, or if you wanted to go through. And so that made it kind of fun, but you had to be a little bit careful because if you had stepped in the wrong puddle, it was like mud, maybe like it was like the water and then mud maybe that deep, and your foot would sink into it, and I almost lost my shoes, okay? that was not a good time. Overall, the run actually wasn't that bad. I think I came out a little hot on the starting line, so I was going a little fast, and I kind of held it back because I knew at the end, like, the gauntlet was going to be the hardest part of this race because that was the 9.5 mile, and I was exhausted by then. Yeah, the end was we'll talk about the end. But before I talk about the end, I want to talk about how I managed to run 10 miles without ever have running 10 miles before. So this time around, I actually wore my hydration pack, which I think helped a lot. It had, I forgot how much water it holds, but it holds a lot of water. And it also has like pockets in it that I could hold my sports beans and my power bars in. So when I felt myself kind of getting tired, I would pull out a pack of sports beans and eat them, and then get my electrolytes back up, and I would feel better. One of the cool things I liked about the course was that I never really ran alone. I always had people to talk to, like even though they were people I didn't know, because I did run this course alone, I always had people to talk to. So let's see, I ran with this girl who, shout out to her by the way, she and I kept a conversation for a while, maybe about a mile and a half. She was awesome. She actually told me she ran half marathons and wanted to give herself a challenge, and she picked the Tough Mudder, which she was phenomenal, and I hope her finish was sweet victory, and I just wish the best for her, and I hope that she gets into obstacle course racing, because it's really fun. And when was the last time you did something for the first time, so I liked her little story there. And then I actually ran with these two guys who go do CG in Houston, and they were awesome. I came up and I saw him wearing a CG shirt, and I yelled out, "Yeah, CG, I do that." And he looks up and he goes, "CG," and I was like, what? And then his buddy was like, "CG strong," and I said, "All day long." And we kind of ran together for a while, and we just talked about the Camp Gladiator games, which I'm doing this weekend. So I did a Tough Mudder, and now I'm doing this, and then it's the end of race season. Honestly, thank goodness. But that's besides the point. We talked about, workouts and why we like CG, and they were awesome too. One of the guy's shoes started hurting his foot, so they hung back, and I went, said bye. And I just, what I liked about this one was there was a lot of camaraderie. I still can't say that word. And, everybody worked as a team. It was super awesome. And I was really glad to be a part of this. And of course, the main event, the one that was in the back of my mind the entire race, the only thing that stood between me and this headband, was something that I hyped up for a long time to my friends. And those friends who are watching this right now will know what I'm talking about, and they think I'm absolutely psycho. The video of it won't be included in this because I don't have it right now, but once I get it, I will put in a short video I will upload that short video onto this YouTube channel. This obstacle was called Electroshock Therapy. And my Legionary Mudders who maybe watch this will know what that is. So essentially I will explain what this, it's Satan's obstacle, essentially. It's a rig with, the legs hanging down, it's planted in, and all across the top are beams that hold down live wires. Now, I don't think every single one of these wires are charged, but they are, and they pack a punch, okay? And it really depends on which wire you hit. Yeah. So, before I raced, me and my mom were watching people, go through, and this one guy, told the MC who was standing there, motivating people at the end, oh, it's not hardcore enough. So she made him go through with his arms out like this, standing straight up and getting electrocuted. It was pretty funny. And then one guy went through it blindfolded like that, and that was pretty awesome too. Just really cool people going through it, and it was awesome. Once I got up over Everest 2.0, which was a giant slippery warped wall, but I got over it, so I was like super hyped up for Electroshock until I got to Electroshock. That's an obstacle that gets in your head really bad. So, I sat there and I would start to go, and then I'd hold back, and then I'd start to go, and then I'd hold back, and I just couldn't get myself to do it. I was terrified, but I didn't want to do the walk of shame. And that's when you go around an obstacle, because you can't or you won't do it. The last thing I wanted to do was the walk of shame. So the MC finally started hyping me up, and I did a little thing, like a no one lives forever kind of thing, and I went for it. They said put your arms in an X motion over your head and run through so the wires don't hit your face, so you don't get a freaking basically a punch to the face. I did that, except I hit a live wire. And it wasn't one of those like, oh, you got an electric shock because you touched the doorknob. It happened on this shoulder. It felt like somebody took like a bat and whacked me with it, and it hurt so bad. Also, they have like hay bales that you have to jump over. This shock happened when I was jumping over a hay bale. So like here was the hay bale and here was me jumping over it. I got dropped, face planted into the mud. It hurt. And I just like crawled my way, but the wires were so low that I kept getting shocked, and it hurt so bad. But it didn't matter because I did it, and I got up and I celebrated and I got my headband, and I was elated when I got through that obstacle, because that was in the back of my mind the whole time, like, how am I gonna do it? Am I even gonna do it? But I did it. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was how people are probably gonna think that I'm like getting like into like street fights now, because my elbows are pretty banged up. You can see that. They're a little cut up, bruises everywhere. And then a little bit of this happened on, I think it happened on either Shawshanked or it happened on Electroshock Therapy, but yeah, I got skinned up pretty good. This knee's a little bit bruised, but not nearly as bad as this is. But that's the price I pay for doing all of this stuff. This was my last race of the 2017 season, and hopefully I will get better at uploading videos. Also, I know the camera angle's off. Oh well. I just need to start getting into kind of a routine, but school's a lot right now. And finally race season's winding down. I'm hoping things will slow down soon. They won't until Christmas break because of finals. But this was the last race of the season, and CG Games is my last competition of the season. So it's going to be back to training for the next 6 months until my Spartan race in May happens, which I'm happy to say I have transferred from the age group competition to the elite wave. I'm really proud of myself for being able to only have been doing this for a year and a half, and I'm doing so well in competitive age division that I feel like it's time to go elite. I'll let you know how that goes. I'll maybe keep up training updates and stuff. But until then, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow my social media. Links will be in the description below. Also, this is my new shirt. World's Toughest Mudder in Training. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me, all my friends and all my family, and even the people I don't know that follow me on Instagram or on Twitter. Everything. There's a train coming, so you're probably going to hear the horn. But I'll wrap this up quick. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you soon.